Welcome into the Steelers Talk live show. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Thank you to all the real ones tuning in at the beginning of today's live program. We got a bunch of Steelers content to get to today. First up, the latest news and rumors surrounding the black and gold. We'll get into my cut candidates after minicamp, my updated list of surprise cut candidates for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to let you guys know why I think the Pittsburgh Steelers can win the AFC North over the Baltimore Ravens in our third segment today. Then we'll get into your questions, the live Steelers Q&A that we do every single week. And then we got our Week 9 Madden simulation. This week it is the game at home versus the Indianapolis Colts. So we will get into all this content here in just a moment. But first, let's bring in our producer today, Mr. Jeffrey Cooperstein. Coop, how we doing today? Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
I'm in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, you're in a wind tunnel
Here we go.
buddy. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Coop, how you doing today, my friend? And,
I am well.
Ready to talk some Steelers football with us.
Yeah. You know what? I don't really know what's going on in Yinzerland, so I'm excited to hear for myself for the first time what's going on here.
Yeah, so right now the biggest hot topic, of course with the TJ Watt stuff, is Jalen Ramsey, because our favorite dog, the People's Insider, Ricky, doubled down on his report saying that the Steelers are trying to land the star corner in a trade before the start of the season. We're going to be talking about him a little bit in our first segment today.
I used to be a Ricky hater, but kind of a believer now.
He's been spot on this offseason. He got the GP trade right. He got the Rodgers signing right. We'll see if he's right on the Jalen Ramsey thing. But you guys can get your questions for the mailbag today in the live chat by using hashtag Steelers or super chatting to get on the show today. We're also giving away one of these Steelers Talk hats. We're giving one away every single live show this summer. And if you guys want to enter into the raffle to win that Steelers Talk hat, $5 gets you into the raffle, $10 gets you 3 raffle tickets, and then $20 gets you 10 tickets, plus your name on the Steelers Talk gong that we got here. I got a little fuzzy there, but there it is. We got some names on there already. If you want to get your name on the gong, $20 donation. Whether it's via Super Chat, whether it's Venmo, PayPal, doesn't matter. We'll get you on the gong. Then $50, I'll get slapped in the face with a tortilla, and you can just buy a hat for yourself. You don't even have to go into the raffle. You can just buy a Steelers Talk hat for yourself if you really want one. $50 is the price for that. Then if we get to $250 total today, we will hit the Steelers Talk gong. We really do appreciate all of your guys' support. But just so you guys know, we do need to get to $50 in donations today to give away one of these hats and do the raffle. If you guys want to send in your donations to Venmo or PayPal, we get to keep more of the proceeds when you guys send it in via Venmo and PayPal. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to double your raffle tickets in the raffle for the hat today if you send in your donations via Venmo or PayPal. You can find me at Jack-Sperry on Venmo or at Captain Jackrabbit on PayPal. Unfortunately, my Cash App's being a little wonky right now, so if you only have Cash App, maybe you start a Venmo or PayPal and then get your donations in that way. And then if you don't have any money to spend on the YouTube show, we 100% get that. But if you still want a chance to win a Steelers Talk hat today in that raffle, if you follow me on X today, at Jack_Sperry, I will give you a free raffle ticket to win the Steelers Talk hat. So we're going to get into our first segment here real quick here, but I want to see the real ones that are in the chat today. Who's all here? Spam those me's in the chat if you're in here for a shout-out. We've got Omar Khan in here. We got Brian03. We've got Steelers fan 2010. Michael Ryan is here. Jason King. Will Torres, Tristan White. Oh my gosh, they're coming in fast. Steelers dad is here. Kyle is here. Tristan, Gabe, Kevin, Glenn. Of course, Cassie is here. We've got Sully, Life with Me, Christopher, Cougar, DJ KJ, Joe, Pittsburgh Dag Jr. We got Lando. Got Gen 5, Christian Andujar. We've got a bunch of great Steelers fans already in here. Over 200 people watching live around the world right now. And today we got a bunch of great stuff for you guys. 4 segments plus a Madden sim for you guys. The latest news and rumors will be our first segment of the day today, followed by some more surprise cut candidates for your Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to let you guys know why I think the Steelers could win the AFC North. In our third segment, I'll take your questions. Again, hashtag Steelers down there in the live chat to get your questions on the show. And then we'll finish up today's stream with the Week 9 Madden simulation versus the Colts. So without further ado here, I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. Coop says he needs one moment here before we get into the first. Okay, he says we're good now. So let's get into our first segment here, the latest news and rumors surrounding the black and gold. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Today we have a bunch of news and rumors to cover on the black and gold today. First up, an NFL insider has doubled down on a report that he had that the Steelers are interested in cornerback Jalen Ramsey in a trade. We'll talk about that at the top of today's show. Then an NFL analyst gasses up Aaron Rodgers coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers and why he thinks Rodgers will be a success here in the Steel City. And then we'll get to Dan Orlovsky from ESPN, who absolutely ripped the Pittsburgh Steelers on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, so make sure you guys stick around to see what Danny O had to say about the Pittsburgh Steelers. But guys, I don't think Omar Khan is done, all right? He's obviously made a lot of moves this offseason, bringing in Aaron Rodgers, trading for DK Metcalf, bringing in Darius Slay, drafting Derek Harmon in the first round of the NFL draft. I don't think he's done. I think that he's got at least one more big move in him before the start of Steelers training camp. It might even be two more big moves, so make sure you guys click that subscribe button and join the Steelers Talk family today, because if that big move comes down, we are going to be going live with our breaking news coverage. So if you don't want to miss any of that, click that subscribe button and join our family today. So now let's get into here the People's Insider. You guys know him well. Ricky, otherwise known as Slick Rick Scoops on Twitter, has doubled down on his report that the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested in trading for cornerback Jalen Ramsey, even after the Baltimore Ravens signed Jaire Alexander yesterday. This is what he had to say. He says, so this is like in his Trump voice, okay? Ricky, the so-called insider, was yelling Ayuk to the Steelers was a done deal, put his reputation on it. Huge risk, total fake news, didn't happen, but hey, he's wearing a red hat now. My kind of hat. Great hat. Maybe he's turning it around. Ramsey to the Steelers, hope it's true. If he's wrong, again, disaster. So this is him pretty much saying, yes, I'm doubling down on the Jalen Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers report. And we got to remember here, guys, I know a lot of people are going to kind of do exactly what Ricky did in his post, kind of call him out for getting the Brandon Ayuk thing wrong last offseason. But this offseason, he has been nails when it comes to his Steelers reports, saying George Pickens was going to get traded just hours before he ended up getting dealt to the Dallas Cowboys, and then saying Rodgers was going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers just hours before he actually signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Ricky's been pretty on the money here. And when it comes to Jalen Ramsey, we've talked about him a couple of times on the show here over the last couple of weeks or so. He's going to be 31 years old this year, so he's certainly not getting any younger, but he does bring great size to the table, 6'1", 208 pounds. He's a really good nickel star player, which is kind of what the Steelers would be using him as. And then if the Steelers acquire him via trade, it's only around a $6 million cap hit. The Steelers currently have $18.8 million in 2025 cap space available to them, so they could absolutely trade for Ramsey and still get a wide receiver to bolster the wide receiver room to help out Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense. They can make both moves. Now, the likely asking price from the Miami Dolphins in a trade is probably an early to mid day 3 draft pick. So that's anywhere between round 4 to round 6. I would say somewhere around the round 5 range is probably where I would project a trade for Jalen Ramsey to come down because of the age, because of the contract that Jalen currently has right now. I don't think it's going to be that expensive to bring him here to Pittsburgh, which is why I think the Steelers could absolutely go all in and try to get Ramsey here with the Steel City and replace Beanie Bishop Jr. as this team's slot corner heading into the year. Now, predict it for me down there in the comment section. Will Ricky get his Jalen Ramsey scoop right? Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section for today's pin question. YouTube's going to throw an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Fanatics. While I'm talking about Fanatics today, simply give me a yes or a no to this question right here. And one of the scoops that Ricky did get right this offseason was the Aaron Rodgers to the Pittsburgh Steelers scoop. And if you guys want to get Aaron Rodgers' Steelers jersey today from our friends at Fanatics, you can do that right now by going to chatsports.com/AR8 to pick up your Rodgers jersey today. It also helps out the channel, guys. If you use that link, chatsports.com/AR8, make a purchase. Fanatics is going to send us part of the proceeds here at Steelers Talk, and that helps us pay rent. That helps us keep the lights on. That helps us improve our graphics, all the different stuff that we need to do here to give you guys the best Steelers content for free here on YouTube. So if you're planning on getting a Rodgers Steelers jersey anyway, you might as well help out the channel while doing so. Go to chatsports.com/AR8 to make it happen. Speaking of Rodgers, let's get into some more Rodgers praise here. We actually talked about Mark Schlereth from Fox Sports yesterday, where he talked a little bit about Rodgers having a conversation with him about the Jets' run game. But he went on the Rich Eisen show yesterday, and he kind of elaborated on that conversation and why he thinks he's going to be a success with the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into 2025. This is what Schlereth had to say on the Rich Eisen show. I sat down with Rodgers for close to an hour, and we probably talked for 20 minutes on just the Jets' run game and how, honestly, schematically, it's the worst run game I've ever watched on film. Like, what are you guys doing? I had no idea. It was like, I cannot believe they are actually coaching this. Early in the 2024 season, Rodgers had an ankle injury and then had a hamstring injury, and he couldn't move. He was really limited. Toward the end of the season, when I dug through the 3 games I always watch as I'm prepping, I'm breaking down the coach's film, 3 games. I was like, damn, Aaron can play. And then I'm watching him pregame on Sunday morning, and pregame I'm watching him throw the football versus the way a bunch of 25-year-olds throw the football, and it's like varsity versus JV. Like, that dude can still rip it, and I mean rip it. And once he started feeling decent and healthy towards the end of the season for the Jets last year, that dude started playing really good football. If he's healthy and you've got that run game mixed with that play-action game that Arthur Smith likes to run, he's gonna tear it up. And listen, guys, if this sounds familiar, it's pretty much exactly what I've been saying here on Steelers Talk. All right, Schlereth is an NFL analyst for Fox Sports. He does the play-by-play color commentary for Fox Sports, and he does do the research. He does watch the film. And if he's saying the same things I'm saying about the Jets' run game being absolutely atrocious schematically, if he's saying Rodgers played better down the stretch with the New York Jets when he was getting healthier, just like I've been saying, all these different things point to everything that I've been saying about Rodgers, and that he can still play at a high level. And then, it wasn't just that he was playing well and that his conversation went well. He actually elaborated even more here, where Schlereth talks about Rodgers' football IQ and how it is absolutely off the charts. This is what Mark had to say when Rich Eisen asked him about his football IQ. Aaron is one of those dudes where he can tell what coverage you're in based on what front you're playing. The guy just understands football at an unbelievable level, and sometimes he'll get on a diatribe where we're talking together, but he's really going through it in his mind, and you can see him with the pictures in his mind going, we're running belly weak, and you have a one technique, and that thing should be cut back to the A gap, but we're stretching it to the front side. He's just going to town, and I'm like, because I've seen it all, I'm like, he's 100%. What are the Jets doing? You need to gap that up in the middle linebacker as opposed to stretching it outside. All these different things that you think of as an offensive lineman, and Rodgers is talking about the game as if he plays guard. I find that most guys can't do that. Most guys outside of their position can't talk about the problems of other positions. I always think the greatest coaches and greatest players have a wonderful understanding of everybody's issues and everybody's problems. If you can understand what the problem is with the coverage of the defense, then you have a better chance to attack it. And there's nobody I've ever talked to, Rodgers, Brady, a couple of guys, that have a better understanding of everybody's issues on a football field at one time. So obviously, really high praise from Mark Schlereth, former NFL offensive lineman, for Aaron Rodgers and the way that he kind of processes the game. And you listen to anybody that talks about Rodgers and the way he processes the game and the way he articulates the game, it's like genius level stuff. And he also mentions in that quote that his arm talent is still there, even at age 41. So, I think that when you look at Rodgers, he certainly has the tools at his disposal to still be a success with the Pittsburgh Pittsburgh Steelers, even at his older age. And let me just get this straight here, guys. Like, Mark Schleyer talks about the run game being trash. You know, the coaching staff was in complete disarray last year in New York. The defense was terrible last year. They were 30th in EPA per play allowed, 29th in scoring defense. And Rodgers is now fully healthy, still has his arm talent, still has his elite football IQ. But all I keep hearing on ESPN and all these national media sites is that Aaron is washed up, he's terrible, and he can't have success with the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. And my response to that is, that New York Jets situation last year, guys, what other NFL quarterback would have thrived and looked like an elite quarterback with the coaching staff looking the way it did, the defense looking the way it did, the run game looking the way it did? There's not many quarterbacks in this league that could have looked good in that situation. And I think that Aaron in Pittsburgh with a stable coaching situation, now that he's fully healthy, I think they're going to add another receiver before the season. I think they're going to have a legitimate run game this year with Caleb Johnson and Jalen Warren. I think he's going to make a lot of people look dumb. People think that he's done. People think that this team's going to win 7-8 games or whatever with Rodgers at quarterback. I think that they're going to get to double-digit wins this year again, and I think this team has put themselves in the best possible situation to win playoff games this year with the options they had on the quarterback market this season. So is this true or false? Let me know down there in the comment section. Aaron Rodgers will be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL this year. Type T if you think that's true, or type F if you think that's false. So now we'll finish up today's show with Dan Orlovsky, who thinks that the Pittsburgh Steelers' ceiling under Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback is once again going to be capped heading into the 2025 season. This is what Orlovsky had to say on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. I still think the offense has some big question marks. The offensive line was an issue last year. Unless they get markedly better in their pass protection, that creates some problems. DK Metcalf is a superstar. They don't have somebody opposite DK that's viable to hurt defenses. And nowadays in the NFL, Pat Freiermuth is a really good tight end, but I'm talking about a perimeter guy. They don't have anybody that's really going to scare defenses. Now, where I agree with Dan in this little diatribe that he goes on here is that the offensive line definitely needs to take a step, all right? If they are just as bad as they were last year, and they have been over the last several seasons, the Steelers aren't going anywhere, all right? That's where I completely agree with Dan Orlovsky. But he seems to think that they're not going to get any better, whereas I think they could actually get a lot better this year. And I think it's absolutely reasonable that this offensive line takes a big step forward this year, because they do have a lot of young, talented players. A couple of them definitely need to prove themselves and have some question marks attached to them. But I do think it's more than reasonable that this offensive line is the best O-line we've seen in Pittsburgh in quite a long time. Like, you just look at the guys that are on the offensive line right now. I mean, Zach Frazier and Isaac Seumalo are absolutely solid. And then there's some guys on there that have some question marks, Broderick Jones and Mason McCormick. But I think Jones moving over to left tackle, he's more comfortable over there. Then McCormick in his second year, I think, could take a big step. And then if Troy Fautano can just stay healthy at right tackle, I think that he could be really good. So there's definitely a world here where the Steelers' offensive line is just as good, as is much better, I should say, than it was in 2024 and the years before that. And then another thing I think that Dan is kind of passing by here is Calvin Austin III. I think that he's a lot scarier than he gets credit for from the national media, plain simply because he didn't get the football last year. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, they were one-read quarterbacks, and more often than not, the first read was either Pat Freiermuth or George Pickens. So Calvin didn't get the football as much as he probably should have based on the way he was running routes on film last year. And I don't think that's going to be a problem with Aaron Rodgers. With his elite football mind and mental processing, I think Calvin is going to have a true breakout season this year. And then also, I do think they're going to add another wide receiver to this group as well. And then another thing that I disagree with here when it comes to kind of Dan's tone on the way that he feels about the Steelers is that, the passing game and the issues and the question marks surrounding the passing game are all fair, but this is a team that wants to win with defense first and the run game second, and I think they definitely have the defense to be a competitive team. The run game, I think, definitely has a chance to be a lot better than it has been in years past. And then, as we talked about, I think that the concerns with the passing game are valid, but I also think could be fixed this year as well. Orlovsky finished his point on the Pat McAfee show yesterday saying that he thinks the Broncos are going to be much better than the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025. That is a second-year quarterback in Bo Nix. That is, J.K. Dobbins at running back who can't stay healthy. A wide receiver room that is just as good, if not worse, than the Steelers' current wide receiver receiver room. I think that the Steelers and Broncos are honestly pretty similar teams, only the Steelers have a 4-time NFL MVP as their starting quarterback. And, I think that Pittsburgh will be better than the Denver Broncos this year, where I think the Steelers will definitely be double-digit wins this year. And, the Broncos will probably be around that range too. We'll see where they end up. But if you're telling me right now, pick a team between the Steelers and the Broncos, I'm taking the Steelers every single time. But let me know down there in the comments section to finish up today's show, who is the better team heading into the 2025 season? Type PIT for Steelers or type DEN for the Denver Broncos. I'm taking the black and gold. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments. That'll finish up today's edition of Steelers News and Rumors. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end with me here today. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you enjoyed today's content and you don't want to miss any of our videos in the future. First segment in the books, Mr. Coop. We do have a mailbag coming up here in just a few short segments. You guys can put hashtag Steelers along with your question down there in the comments section. If you guys have a question that you want to get on the mailbag today. Coop, is there anything that kind of stood out to you there on that last segment that you want to discuss?
Orlovsky, for some reason, hates Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know why.
Well,
does he have a personal vendetta?
He's not as bad as Graziano.
Well, no.
Graziano thinks that, Rodgers isn't even, a top 50 quarterback anymore. He thinks he's terrible. Orlovsky, to his kind of point here, he does say he thinks the Steelers will win 10 games this year. He just thinks that they're going to be in the same exact spot as they were last year, where they're going to be a wild card, they're not going to win the division, and then they lose in the first round of the playoffs. Which, by the way, is absolutely a possibility.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
So it's not like Dan is crazy for having these concerns. I just think that it's more than reasonable to think that the Steelers could overcome some of those question marks this year. He seems to kind of think that they won't overcome those questions. I'm more of the persuasion that they will, and I guess we'll see what happens when the season comes around.
I think Dan has bigger things to worry about, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we do have a PayPal here, Coop.
We also got a super chat from Shaker Hand. Shout out to you.
Shout out. I'm going to send this to you real quick. But Shaker Hand says, what do you say to the idea that the game has become more offensive-sided? See Belichick on the Manning show, drop tackle rule, etc. Is there room for teams that focus on defense, game management like Pittsburgh? Yes, I think so. Just look at what I'll say is just look at the team that just won the Super Bowl, all right, the Philadelphia Eagles. Elite defense, really good ground and pound run game, and then a quarterback that I think, is a good quarterback, top 10 quarterback, but is he an elite quarterback like Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow? I don't think Jalen Hurts is on that level. As much as I think he's a good quarterback, I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I think Rodgers can absolutely get to that tier of good quarterback like Jalen Hurts is right now, especially if he's aided by a good run game. I believe in Caleb Johnson. I believe in Jalen Warren, especially if that offensive line can hit this year. And then this defense, as long as TJ Watt stays healthy, I think that their defense is one of the best in football, similar to a level of the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so if the Eagles could do it, and if the Steelers can kind of, take steps forward in their rushing game, and then hopefully Rodgers is an upgrade to Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, I absolutely think that there's a place for teams that, have great defenses. It's not to say you can't be good on offense. The reason why the Steelers have not been able to take their team to the next level is because their offenses have been bottom 10 in the league. They've had good defenses, not good offenses. So obviously you got to take your offense to the next level. You can't just have a defense and win a modern day NFL Super Bowl. You can't do that. But there are certainly places for teams with elite defenses to win Super Bowls in today's NFL. Oh, baby, this one's rolling in from Craig Sherwood. Bang! Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Craig just bought himself a Steelers talk hat with the $50 PayPal.
What a beast.
Craig, can you put my email down in the L3 for a second?
Just have him respond to the Venmo.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Craig, just send me your shipping address in a comment on your PayPal that you sent in, if that's even a possibility. Can you put comments on PayPals?
I think so. I'll put your email down.
Yeah, just put my email down there just in case.
Yeah,
but Craig, feel free to send me an email with your shipping address. We'll make sure to get you a Steelers Talk hat. Absolutely fantastic stuff there, Craig. We'll put you up on the gong. And Coop, I actually think we might just cut that third segment out.
No, we can do it.
You sure we can do it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Craig Sherwood, Lovehead. Craig, you are on the gong, my friend. Your name is right on there. Good stuff, my friend. You are getting a Steelers Talk hat, and I'm getting slapped with a tortilla at some point during this show. Alex L. with a 20. Alex is getting on the gong as well, and that gets him 10 tickets to win one of these Steelers Talk hats. Alex, you are on the gong. Appreciate it. Everybody spam those Alexes and Craigs in the chat. Make sure you're sending those messages to those guys. Appreciate you guys.
Where's intern Sam when you need him?
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, intern Sam can't slap me in the face with a tortilla today.
He's too busy diving with the sharks.
He's too busy sipping on pina coladas on the cruise ship that he's on right now. We'll find somebody though. Probably Captain Coley will come in here and slap me with a tortilla. But in the meantime, here we got our next segment here. Surprise cut candidates for your Pittsburgh Steelers are coming at you right now. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Today, it is my list of 8 surprise Steelers cut candidates after the conclusion of Steelers mandatory minicamp. We did a cut candidates video about a month ago, but I think that, there's some more updates that I wanted to put on this list here, so that's what we're going to be doing today on the show. If you are excited for training camp in Latrobe, all right, I'm going to be going there that first weekend to watch the first few practices of Aaron Rodgers in Latrobe there at St. Vincent College. It's going to be fantastic, guys. I'm super excited. If you're with me on that, click that thumbs up icon if you are ready for Steelers training camp. Now, before we get into my list here, I just want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not necessarily, making predictions here that all 8 of these players are definitely going to get cut. All right, I'm just saying these are 8 players that have had roles with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the past and have made this roster before that I think could get cut based on their current standing in the Steelers roster. The first name that I want to talk about here, Cordarrelle Patterson, the running back, special teamer, kickoff return man, whatever you want to designate him. I thought he was going to get cut at some point during the offseason because you could have saved a little bit of money by letting him go. I didn't think there was any, after not really being a good kick returner for this team and then, getting injured last year a little bit, he added some weight, frankly. I'm a little surprised that they're keeping him around, but, now you look at the running back room. You got Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson. Those are going to be top 2 guys. You bring in Kenneth Gainwell to be your rotational piece. You bring in Trey Sermon this offseason as well, somebody that's got some playing experience. And that 4th running back spot, I think, is really going to come down to Cordarrelle Patterson or Trey Sermon. The team actually released Ward today. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But I think Patterson probably gets the axe here. I think Sermon right now probably has the inline road to win that job, unless the Steelers somehow feel like he's still a valuable kickoff return piece. Which I would kind of doubt at this point, or at least I hope that they doubt that at this point, given the way he played last year. But I do think he's in danger of getting cut at some point this offseason or during or after training camp. Then we get to Scotty Miller here, the wide receiver who made this team last year, played some time with the various injuries that the Steelers had last year in this room with Roman Wilson and George Pickens at times. Scotty had to come in and get some pretty decent reps for this football team, but I do think that with the wide receiver room as it currently stands right now, and then the fact that I think that they're going to be adding another wide receiver before week 1, I look at this depth chart and what it's going to look like once they add that next wide receiver, and I just don't know if there's much room for Scotty Miller to make this final roster. Right now, I expect DK Metcalf to obviously be your every down number 1 receiver, but then there's going to be some sort of rotation between Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, and Robert Woods. At least the way that it's currently constructed. And I do think Ben Skoranek, who's an excellent special teamer and blocker, will also make the team. So there's really only one more spot for me on this wide receiver room, especially if they add one more wide receiver. And I think Scotty Miller is kind of the odd man out in my opinion, if you're going to be keeping 6 wide receivers on this roster. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comment section. Will the Steelers add another wide receiver before the start of training camp? And if they do, who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Amari Cooper? Is it going to be Keenan Allen? Is it going to be Romeo Doubs? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section for today's pinned question. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time by letting me know which receiver you think the Steelers will add before training camp. We move on to the defensive side of the ball, where James Pierre, somebody that's played a lot of ball for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the last several seasons, got cut by the Washington Commanders last year, who had a terrible cornerback room. And, I don't think Pierre's very good. All right, he's had some splash moments, but you have Joey Porter Jr., you have Darius Slay. Beanie Bishop Jr. right now is slated to be your nickel. We'll see if they end up bringing in Jalen Ramsey, who's being heavily linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers at this point. Corey Trice Jr., Brandon Echols are almost certainly going to be making the team. Dante Kent was a draft pick, so I think that he will be with this team in some capacity this year. I just don't see a lot of room for James Pierre to make this roster, especially if they bring in Ramsey. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the cornerback room. I think Pierre gets the axe. Then Mark Robinson, the interior linebacker that's made this team for multiple seasons. He's been kind of a thumper, kind of undersized player that's more of a special teams type of player. But you look at this interior linebacker room, man, and they brought in Malik Harrison this year in free agency specifically to play the role that Mark Robinson has played on special teams in years past. So that definitely was not a good sign for Robinson's future for this team. But if they want to keep the guys that are almost certainly going to make this team, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Cole Holcomb, and Malik Harrison, then not to mention you drafted Carson Bruner in the late rounds of the draft this year, it just seems like Robinson is continuing to be put down the totem pole. And I think he's got an uphill battle to make this team this year. Then DeMarvin Leal, it just seems like every single year we've been waiting for DeMarvin Leal to finally show us something. And, he just hasn't happened. He's had some injuries, all this different stuff. Apparently he's put on some weight this offseason, which isn't a fantastic sign. Might be looking to play a little bit more on the interior this year. But when it comes to the outside linebacker room right now, I just don't really see where he fits in with it. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, Jack Sawyer seem like a really good foursome of outside linebackers for your football team. So, if Leal's going to make this team, it's going to be as an interior player. But as we're going to talk about here in just a second, there's definitely going to be some competition in that grouping, as well as Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, and Logan Lee, in my opinion, are all potential cut candidates for the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into training camp. And I don't think all these guys will get cut. I want to make that abundantly clear, but I think that all of these guys are kind of in competition for that last spot or two on the defensive line here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You bring in Derek Harmon, you bring in Daniel Ekuale, you bring in Y.A. Black, all these different guys along the interior of the defensive line. And, the question is, how many offense or defensive linemen are you going to hold on to? Are you going to hold on to 6, 7, maybe 8? Like how many are you really going to be bringing in here for the start of the season? I'm sure some of these guys will probably be practice squad type of players, and they will continue to be with the organization, but there's only so many spots on the final 53-man roster. And apparently Loudermilk has had a good offseason program, so he'd probably be the favorite of these 3 to make the roster. And the team does like Dean Lowry, but you look at the guys that they have in this room, they've got their 3 starters right now that are going to be playing a majority of the snaps, and then they've got kind of their backup guys locked and loaded as well, the guys that they brought in free agency, drafted in the middle rounds, like Y.A. Black, for example. There's definitely decreasing spots on this defensive line, which is really, really deep heading into this season, where these 3 guys, Logan Lee, Dean Lowry, and Isaiah Loudermilk, are going to have to play really well, not to mention DeMarvin Leal. If he wants to play on the interior, these guys are going to have a good camp if they're going to earn a spot on the final 53-man roster for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let me know down there in the comments section, who will surprisingly not make the final 53-man roster for your Pittsburgh Steelers this year? Is it somebody we had on our list today? Is it somebody else? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. But just a quick recap here, guys. My surprise cut candidates for the Pittsburgh Steelers as it stands right now: Cordero Patterson, Scotty Miller, the only 2 offensive players I have on my list today, but James Pierre, Mark Robinson, DeMarvin Leal, Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, and then Logan Lee, all players that have had roles on this team in the past that I think could be axed by the time we get to week 1 of the NFL campaign. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already for more in-depth Steelers videos like this one. And like I said, if you're excited for training camp, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon to let me know you're excited. Second segment in the books there, Mr. Coop. John Stevenson, my man with a 2, says, I need a Jack Lambert jersey. John, we're actually going to be doing a jersey raffle at the end of the month. So, so next week, Thursday, I think is when we're going to be doing our June jersey raffle. So here's our raffle ticket kind of table here, John. So if you want to get in on the jersey raffle for next week, Thursday, you guys can put in any amount of raffle tickets you want. $5 gets you 1 raffle ticket, 10 gets you 3, 20 gets you 10, plus your name on the gong. 50, you get to buy a Steelers Talk hat, tortilla slap, and you get all the tickets that are involved with a 50. And if we can get to $250 total on today's show, right now we are sitting at $81, so we're still a little bit ways away from $250, but if we can get to $250, we'll hit the gong for you guys this evening. Now, we do have a mailbag coming up here relatively soon. You guys can use hashtag Steelers down there in the live chat, or you guys can super chat any dollar amount to get your question on today's Q&A. Coop, where are we at with questions right now? We need some more, he says. Okay, so if you guys want to get those questions in there, again, all you have to do is use hashtag Steelers to get your question on the show for free today. Or if you want to skip the line and guarantee your question gets on the show today, you guys can super chat any dollar amount to make sure your question gets on the show. All right, Coop, are we ready to get into our next segment here? So our next segment here, guys, it's a kind of a fun one because I feel like a lot of people kind of assume that the Baltimore Ravens are going to win the AFC North this year. And listen, for good reason. Lamar Jackson, multiple-time MVP, almost won MVP again last year. Derrick Henry, awesome running back in years past. The defense just added Jaire Alexander to, already what was a really good defense last season for Baltimore. So I can certainly understand why people are kind of favoring the Baltimore Ravens heading into the year. But I kind of think that the Steelers could be a dark horse that could surprise everybody in the AFC North. Coming up here, I got my 5 reasons for why I think the Steelers could surprise and shock the NFL world and win the AFC North this year. Just got a Venmo here, Mr. Coop. Send that your way. We'll get to this Venmo here in just a moment. But don't forget, guys, we got the mailbag coming up again. Get those questions in. And then we also have the Madden sim coming up later in the show, too. Pittsburgh versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers in our Madden simulated season are 4-3 at this point, trying to get to 5-3 with Aaron Rodgers under center. CJ Ross coming in with a $20 Venmo. And he says, raffle tickies. So get those raffle tickets going for him. That's 10 raffle tickets, both for the Steelers Talk hat and for the jersey raffle we're doing next week, Thursday. So, CJ, appreciate you. You're one of the real ones. You know how much we love you, man. Thanks for the 20. And keep getting those super chats in. Right now we're about $150 away from hitting the gong as we're sitting at about $100 in donations today. So that's absolutely phenomenal, guys. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's get to that 250 number so we can bang that gong, get you guys some raffle tickets, not only for the hat but for the jersey raffle next week. And CJ just got it done for himself right there with a $20 Venmo. Big shout out to CJ. Spam those CJs down there in the chat. Spam those CJs. I'm going to give some shout outs here while Coop gets our next segment ready for you guys. We got Eric Dexter here. We got L.A. Brooks. We've got Broderick Pritchett here. John Stevenson, Rafin. We got DJ KJ. We got Cougar. We got Kevin Reed. We got Ramsey NFL. We got Beat Boy 14, Christian Andujar is here. We've got Seth, L.A. Brooks, Kevin Reed, Cassie's getting her CJs in there. I am Pooh, Alex L. We've got Electric Divergent. Good to see you, Electric Divergent. We got Robert Derringer. We've got Joe. Got a good crew of Steelers fans in here. The Pittsburgh Steelers fan 412 is in here, typing in his CJs. Good to see you, 412. All right, without further ado, let's get into our next segment here. 5 reasons why I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers could win the AFC North in 2025. Call me crazy, Steelers fans, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers could shock the NFL world this year and win the AFC North Division Championship for the 2025-2026 NFL season. And today, I'm going to share my 5 reasons why I think the black and gold could upset the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and the lowly Cleveland Browns to take this division for the first time in quite a while. Before we get into the content today, get us started down there in the comments section by letting me know the percent chance that the Pittsburgh Steelers win the AFC North Division this season. Put it on a scale of 0, meaning there's no chance they win the division, to 100, meaning they're definitely winning the division. Let me know where you guys are at this point in the offseason by giving me a number down there in the comments section. So the first reason why I think the Steelers have a shot to win the AFC North this year is because King Henry himself, Derrick Henry, I think could be in line for some regression heading into this season. Now, you take a look at Derrick Henry's numbers last year. Awesome season last year with Baltimore, right? Like at age 31 to put up this kind of production, it's unprecedented. Over 300 carries, almost got to 2,000 yards for the second time in his career, 16 touchdowns, and of course, in the 2 late games versus the Steelers, absolutely dominated the black and gold defense, especially with TJ Watt down with an ankle injury. But then you look at Derrick Henry, the last time that he had a season like that was back in 2020 when he led the league in rushing, actually under Arthur Smith as his OC there in Tennessee. Had over 2,000 yards, the only time in his career that he did that. 17 touchdowns, 5.4 yards per carry. Insane season for King Henry. And then the next season, not nearly as good. Dealt with injuries because of the wear and tear that his body took. The previous season in Tennessee didn't even get to 1,000 yards rushing. Touchdown number went down significantly. And look at the yards per carry number, guys. Went down over a yard in the yards per carry efficiency that 2021 season. That's when he was a younger man, let alone now when he's going to be going into his age 32 season. If you guys know anything about running backs, once they get to 30, man, it is a steep decline, at least historically, in the National Football League. In fact, you look at Henry's going into his age 32 season, there has been a grand total of 0 running backs in the history of this league that have rushed for over 1,400 yards in a season at the age of 32 or higher. All right, so history is certainly not on the side of Derrick Henry here. I think that he could be in line for some regression here. And if that happens, if he gets injured, if he's not as good as he was last season, Baltimore's running back room behind him is actually pretty darn light. Like, they've got some nice pieces in there as secondary kind of options there in Baltimore, but if you need somebody to come in and take heavy snaps if Derrick Henry goes down with an injury, you really trust Justice Hill? Do you really trust Keaton Mitchell, those guys? I personally don't, and Lamar Jackson would have to really carry a lot of the load there if Derrick Henry regresses heavily or gets injured, both of which are probably likely heading into his age 32 season. The second reason why I think the Steelers have a shot, specifically over the Ravens, is because Lamar Jackson can't beat a healthy TJ Watt. Now, you might be saying, but Jack, what about last year? The Ravens won the final 2 games against the Steelers, not only in the playoffs, but also late in the season. Guess what? TJ Watt was dealing with a very painful and really limiting ankle injury in both of those games. And when TJ Watt is healthy and he's playing against Lamar Jackson, Jackson's record versus the Pittsburgh Steelers is 1-4. And that one win came in 2019. He has 4 straight losses against TJ Watt when he is healthy playing against the Steelers defense, all right? So you guys can take a look at his numbers playing against a healthy TJ Watt versus playing an injured TJ Watt, and they are absolutely stark differences, all right? When Watt is healthy and he is putting that pressure on Lamar Jackson, the completion percentage is almost 15 points less than when he's playing injured or when he's off the field. The yards per attempt number, over 2 yards less per attempt for Lamar Jackson. The touchdown percentage goes down dramatically. The interception percentage more than doubles, and the sack percentage is just absolutely crazy different right there when Watt is on the field versus when he's injured or when he's not on the field. So obviously, TJ Watt's lack of presence on the field gives Lamar Jackson a bit more comfortability out there. And also last year, if you'll remember, it was Derrick Henry, not really Lamar Jackson, that was carving up the Steelers defense last year with the injured TJ Watt. The run defense was absolutely terrible for the black and gold in the kind of final stretch of the season last year, and going up against a big-bodied running back that wears you down like Derrick Henry, it was just too much for the Pittsburgh Steelers run defense to handle. So I think this year, especially with the way that I expect Derrick Henry to regress, I don't think Lamar is going to be able to hide behind Derrick Henry and his production. I think he had like 180 and 160 yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Talking about Derrick Henry there in the final 2 games that they played the Steelers last year. I don't think that Lamar is just going to be able to have 20, a little bit over 20 pass attempts a game like he did in those 2 games. He's going to have to throw the ball like 40 times a game against the Steelers with a healthy TJ Watt, and I don't think that's going to work out well for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comment section. Will the Pittsburgh Steelers sweep the Baltimore Ravens this year? Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section, and let me know what you guys think down there in the comments. So now let's talk about my third reason here, which surrounds the Cincinnati Bengals. And, a lot of people, on ESPN and all these national, media platforms or whatever will tell you that they think the Ravens will be first, and then they think the Bengals will be second, with the Steelers being third. I hear this every single year, and the Steelers always finish ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals. Why? Because the Bengals defense stinks, and it still stinks. Like, they haven't made a whole lot of improvements to this defense other than the theoretical improvement of getting rid of Lou Anarumo for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish defensive coordinator, who is an unproven NFL defensive coordinator coming over from college. And the reason why people love the Bengals, all right, is because they love Joe Burrow. And sure, Joe Burrow, granted, is a top 4 quarterback in the National Football League. He is awesome, but people assume because they have an elite quarterback that they must have an elite team. Well, last year, Joe Burrow put up MVP caliber numbers, all right? If the Bengals made the playoffs, he might have won league MVP. Almost 5,000 yards passing, over 70% completion percentage, 43 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. And then what happened with the Bengals, guys? They had like a 500 record, were 9-8, and they missed the playoffs entirely, despite Joe Burrow's heroic effort last year, carrying that football team along with the other weapons that he has, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, the same kind of weapons that he has this year. They were still just 9-8, and they couldn't finish ahead of the Steelers, who had a bottom 10 offense in the National Football League. The reason for that, guys, is because the Bengals defense stinks. All right, you take a look at the numbers last year for the Pussycats, and you look at these numbers. They're bottom 10 in almost every single category. All right, some of the major categories that you look at: EPA per play, 27th; success rate, 30th; 26th in scoring defense, all right, 30th in red zone touchdown percentage given up. And then, you look at the moves that they made on defense. Are they really that much better from a roster perspective on that side of the ball this year? No, they are not. And then there's also the fact that they're currently in the middle of not 1, but 2 active contract disputes with their top 2 edge rushers, their first-round pick, Shamar Stewart, and their number 1 guy, an NFL sack leader last year, Trey Hendrickson, are both very disgruntled with the football team right now. And there's at least a possibility that at least one of these gentlemen will not be, suiting up for the Cincinnati Bengals heading into the 2025 season. And if that's the case, especially with Trey Hendrickson and the amount of production that he brings to the table, 17.5 sacks last year, led the NFL, and this defense was still as bad as it was. All those rankings in the mid-20s and low 20s when it comes to their team defensive stats. If they don't have Trey Hendrickson next year, guys, and they trade him away to, say, like the Detroit Lions or the Washington Commanders or some other team before the start of the season, this defense is going to be in a lot of trouble, and it's not going to matter how good Joe Burrow is, because their defense is going to be giving up so many points this year. So no, I do not think the Cincinnati Bengals are a Super Bowl contender, not until this defense can turn it around. And then we get to the Cleveland Browns, my fourth reason why I think the Steelers could win this division this year, and plain and simply, the Browns are the Browns. All right, you look at their quarterback situation right now. You want me to get excited about a geriatric Joe Flacco? You want me to get excited about Kenny freaking Pickett? What about Shadur Sanders, who's just caught speeding at over 100 miles per hour? Looks like he's a great decision maker, right? And then Dylan Gabriel, who's got the size of Kyler Murray and the arm strength of Tua Tagovailoa. terrible combination of physical attributes for a team playing in the wind, in the cold, and in the rain. All right, so the Browns don't have a quarterback this year. They just got rid of Nick Chubb. I don't think they're running. I like Quinshon Judkins, but I don't expect him to be able to carry an NFL offense in year one. This defense is okay, but they're not going to be fantastic. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the National Football League this year, so let's just leave the Browns at that. But, we've been talking about a lot about the other teams in the AFC North on today's video, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns. But why are the Steelers the best team in this division, or why they could be the best team in this division? In my opinion, guys, this is the best Steelers team and the best Steelers roster that we have had in years, all right? You take a look at the roster compared to where they were in 2024. I think they have upgraded in every single aspect of their team this year, except for special teams, but that's because it's pretty much a wash. But even then, you could argue that getting Cameron Johnston back from injury is an upgrade for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year over Corliss Waitman. But the quarterback situation, Aaron Rodgers is better than either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields right now. The running back situation, I think Caleb Johnson is a better fit for this offense than Najee Harris was. All right, the receiving weapons, I think it's upgraded. DK Metcalf better than George Pickens, and I think they'll add another receiving weapon before camp as well. The blocking, I think, will be upgraded. Just getting Troy Fautano back from injury instantly upgrades this unit, and if Broderick Jones and Mason McCormick can take a step this year, it's a much better offensive line than it was last year. On the defensive line, you bring in a first-round pick, Derek Harmon, to upgrade the depth of the defensive line. I think that unit is still really good. Inside linebacker, Peyton Wilson is going to take another step this year. I think that's an upgrade. Then secondary, you replace Dante Jackson and Cam Sutton with Darius Slay and Beanie Bishop Jr. I think their secondary is better than it was last year. So almost every single facet of this football team this year is better than it was in 2024. And it's been the best that it's been, in my opinion, in quite some time. And I think that this team this year with Aaron Rodgers and the different additions that they have made to this team this year, especially if they add another wide receiver like Amari Cooper before the start of training camp, this team is in the best place to have playoff success, wins in the playoffs since the Killer B era, all right, 2017. And you might be saying at home, but Jack, they didn't win a playoff game in 2017. They lost to Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars at home that year. That's true, but the Steelers were certainly putting themselves in position for playoff success that year. I think it's going to be very similar with Aaron Rodgers, Arthur Smith, and the Pittsburgh Steelers this year in 2025. So is this statement true or false? Let me know down there in the comments section. This is the best Steelers roster since 2017. Type T if you think that's true, or type F if you think that's false. I think this statement is true, but let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. That'll be it for today's edition of Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I hope I convinced you that the Pittsburgh Steelers at least have a chance to win the AFC North this year over the Baltimore Ravens. But make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already for more extensive Steelers coverage on this channel for free every single day. All right, Coop. Well, what'd you think of that? That's kind of a controversial video right there, huh?
I know that the talk of the Bengals, I am one of those victims of I see Joe Burrow, Chase, and T. Higgins, and I'm like, how is this team not going to win 12
But,
games?
they had those guys last year.
I know. Well,
and what if they trade Trey Hendrickson?
I'll say this: it feels like their front office is kind of a joke because
it doesn't feel like they are.
They're yanking both Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart's chain. Their first-round pick, by the way, who may not even play for them this year, he could go back in the draft next season.
Yes.
And they
might trade Trey Hendrickson, the NFL's leader in sacks last year.
They are a franchise of dysfunction, which is kind of a joke, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, they're really good. But I do think the Steelers have a better overall roster.
Yeah, and they were a better overall roster last year. And the Steelers are better this year.
I hope so.
We'll see. When the Steelers were healthy last year, they put up over 40 points on them, and they weren't even that good of an offense.
We'll see about Raji and DeCussy.
We'll see about Raji. As we talked about earlier, I believe in Rodgers.
As do I.
But, I think Rodgers is the best quarterback this team has had since Prime Big Ben. I think he's better than Ben was when he was getting older because Rodgers still has that arm talent. He's got that flick, And Ben would get to the end of the season and his arm would just be gone, right? So I think that Rodgers gives this team the best chance to win in the postseason in a long time at the quarterback position. I think the defense, if it gets back to the way that they were playing before the TJ Watt injury last year, the run game takes a step forward this year, which I expect them to do. Like, this Steelers team is going to be dangerous this year, and they're a sleeping giant, and everybody is sleeping on this football team, man. So last year, by the way,
sleeping giant.
By the way, Coop, who was in the lead in the division last year when T.J. Watt got hurt last season?
The Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers were in the lead with Russell Wilson at quarterback and a bad O-line and no run game. If they have a good run game this year, Rodgers is better than Russell, and the defense is playing the way it did before Watt got hurt. Like, why can't the Steelers win the division? They were leading last year, but they were the worst roster.
A lot of ifs.
It is a lot of ifs, but very real. I would say relatively realistic ifs.
Will Artie be able to get the best out of Raji?
And I think they will.
I hope so.
And I think Caleb Johnson's going to have a hell of a rookie season. Fresh legs. You got to love the fresh legs. Derrick Henry's old. All right, Caleb Johnson's just getting started.
I think I'll make a prediction right now. I think Derrick Henry breaks that trend.
So you think he'll be the first NFL running back ever to have over 1,400 yards after the age of 32? Yep. I don't know, man. It's never happened before, and there's a lot of people that thought it would happen with certain running backs. Walter Payton, some other players that got Emmett. Never happened with those guys. So,
I think it could happen with Derrick.
I'm not going to say it can't happen because Derrick's a freak of nature, and that's perfectly granted. I'm just saying history's not on his side. And the last time he put up that many yards in a season as he did last year, he got injured the following season.
This is true.
So, I don't know, man. I think the Ravens will be a good team. I think they'll be right there with the Steelers. I'm not trying to say the Ravens suck, all right? But I think the Steelers have an advantage head-to-head with them because of T.J. Watt and the pressure he puts on Lamar. He stinks against the Steelers defense.
I do think the Steelers are a little bit in the Ravens' head.
Yeah, and after the 2 losses, the Ravens got their confidence getting the 2 wins against the Steelers last year, but T.J. Watt was hurt. It completely changes the calculus of the matchup when the number 1 player on the opposing team is injured.
I do think this is a 3-team division, though, and then the Browns are the biggest joke, probably. Maybe in American professional sports.
Yes. They paid a sexual predator that much money.
And then drafted
and guaranteed.
Drafted 2 quarterbacks this year, one of whom was speeding by over 50 miles an hour.
By the way, Colin Cowherd was championing Shadur Sanders before that moment. Even Colin Cowherd can't defend it.
It's impossible to defend.
It's impossible to defend. You're absolutely right. We did get a Venmo here. 2 Venmos here, so I'll send them your way here, Coop.
Cool.
By the way, we do have a mailbag. Do we still need more questions?
We're good. By the way, Justin, we see your super chat. We'll get to it. It'll be the first question on our mailbag, so don't worry.
All right, Justin, you'll be first up. 2 Venmos to get to here, and then we'll get into the mailbag here, guys. But yeah, call me crazy if you want. I've been covering this league for a while, and I feel like the Steelers are a team everyone's sleeping on, and they're gonna surprise some people this year.
Is the copium getting to you?
I don't think so. We'll see. It could just be my Steelers bias. I'm fully acknowledging that could be the case, but I don't know, man. I feel like Rodgers is going to play well. I think that this offensive line is going to play better. I think this run game is going to be better than it's been in years, and I still think the defense is going to be just as good, if not better, than it's been in past years. So that's where I'm at. I think the Steelers are a damn good football team. Pittsburgh fan 412 with a $20 Venmo, I believe. Pittsburgh fan, we already got you on the gong. I believe we got you on the gong, but that's 10 tickets to win a Steelers Talk hat, along with that jersey that we'll be giving away next week, Thursday. Appreciate you, Pittsburgh fan. You're one of the real ones, one of the OGs. CJ Ross with another 20 puts him at 20. CJ, if you put in another 10. We will do a slap, all right? And I'll send you another hat. I know you already got a hat, but if you want to buy another hat, $10 more, and we'll do the tortilla slap, and we'll send you another hat. Or you can donate the hat to somebody in the chat. Either one. I don't care. But CJ, appreciate the 20 there. You're a real one.
Striker, we'll get to yours during the mailbag as well.
Striker, appreciate you. We'll get to you in the mailbag as well. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the mailbag so that we can get into the Madden game and finish up today's live stream. But without further ado, let's answer your questions on the Steelers Talk mailbag. Welcome into the Steelers Talk mailbag. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Today, it's my favorite segment of the week. I get to talk with you guys directly. You have questions. I have answers on the black and gold, so I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. We'll get into the questions here in just a second. But first, click that subscribe button if you haven't already and join the Steelers Talk family. We are already the largest Steelers news channel anywhere on YouTube, and we give you guys daily content for free on this channel, and we try to be the most interactive community of Steelers fans anywhere on this platform. We have daily poll questions. We go live twice a week where you guys can interact with your fellow Steelers fans across the world. And, of course, we have these mailbags where you guys can ask me questions directly every single week. So if you guys want the most interactive experience for a Steelers fan anywhere on YouTube, this is the place for you. Click that subscribe button right now. Got my man Justin Yankuski coming in with a 5. Says, do you think Aaron Rodgers can actually help Steelers defense in camp and practices exploiting their weaknesses? His football IQ is crazy good. It is crazy good, and, listen, I don't think that the Steelers defense necessarily needs a whole lot of, guidance in this area. I think that they're kind of just fine. Now, I do think Rodgers will exploit some weaknesses, and then I think the Steelers coaching staff, at least I hope, make some adjustments based on the way that Rodgers can kind of slice and dice them a little bit in training camp. But, as it stands right now, I do expect the Steelers defense to be a really freaking good defense, guys. They got, in my opinion, the best and deepest pass rush in the NFL heading into the year. I like their linebackers heading into the year with Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. I like their 3 safety package this year with Minkah Fitzpatrick, Deshaun Elliott, and Juan Thornhill. I like their cornerback room this year a lot more than I did last year. I think this defense is going to be damn good, man. I can't wait to watch them play. Got one from 20 from Stryker. Let's go, Stryker. Everybody spam Stryker in the chat. But he sends in a $20 super chat, says, this is not a question, but I believe the Steelers have a chance to upset the top teams, especially with how underrated they are this year. Do you think without another new wide receiver, Roman Wilson will step up? The answer to the question, Stryker, is I don't know. All right? It's complete speculation whether or not Roman Wilson is going to step up because we haven't seen him in an NFL setting before. He only played a couple snaps last year, didn't get the football really at all in an actual NFL game, so he is all projection at this point. Do I hope and do I think that he's capable of stepping up and being a legit starter in this league? Absolutely. He reminds me a lot of Randall Cobb and his physical skill set and his play style. And as we know, Aaron Rodgers really loved Randall Cobb from the slot. So I think that Roman Wilson, if he's going to succeed with anyone, it's going to be with Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what kind of role he plays, and we'll see if they end up bringing in another wide receiver during this offseason before training camp. But the answer to the question there, Stryker, is I don't know on Roman Wilson, but I damn sure hope he can be a good player for us. So take a guess for me down there in the comments section. Over or under 4.5 touchdowns for Roman Wilson in 2025? Will he get to 5 or more touchdowns this year, or will he be below that number in 2025? Give me an over or an under down there in the comments section for today's pinned question. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds, and when that happens, take advantage of that time by letting me know over or under 4.5 touchdowns for Roman Wilson. $10 from Shaker Hand says, what do you say to the idea that the game has become more offensive-sided? See Belichick on Manning Show, drop tackle rule, etc. Is there room for teams to focus on defense and game management like Pittsburgh? The answer to the question is yes. Now, that doesn't mean you can win a Super Bowl with a bad offense. I think we've seen with the Pittsburgh Steelers the last several seasons, they've had good defenses, but they didn't have good offenses, bottom 10 offenses, and because of that, you kind of feel like they don't have any shot come playoff time. You got to have at least, a decent NFL offense, probably above average NFL offense to even have a shot to win a Super Bowl. But teams with really good defenses definitely, give themselves a shot. Just look at the Philadelphia Eagles last year. The way that they won last year was elite defense, ground and pound run game, and then competent quarterback play in the passing game with good weapons. Pittsburgh Steelers are setting themselves up pretty nicely right now to try and follow that kind of model that the Eagles ran last year. Now, it's very difficult to have a team as complete as the Philadelphia Eagles had last year, but the defense here in Pittsburgh is expensive but very, very good. The offense, you look at Caleb Johnson and the young offensive line, the run game could really take a big jump this year. And Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is the best quarterback that this team has had in a very long time. And then who knows, they might add another wide receiver to this group along with DK Metcalf that could take this passing game to the next level as well. So I think that the Steelers' strategy is to try and not rely too much on an elite quarterback, rather build a complete team around a competent quarterback like the Eagles did last year. and we'll see if that strategy works out for him this season. Got one from Offsides Edit, says, what would Darius Slay do if we got Jalen Ramsey, though? And I'm thinking like a 2nd and a 5th round pick for Tyreek Hill and Ramsey. If they can somehow get Tyreek and Ramsey in the same deal, that would be crazy. And that would be, we'd be live immediately on this channel going absolutely nuts. It'd be one of the greatest live shows in the history of this channel. But I think if they do trade with Miami, it's probably going to be just for Jalen. It would probably be a 5th round pick for Jalen Ramsey. And what would Darius think of it? I think that he'd be fine with it because most teams and even the Steelers spend most of their time in nickel, which means multiple corners are on the field. It's not just 2 corners that are on the field. There's 3 corners usually on the field at any given time. Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., and Jalen Ramsey would all be on the field at the same time. Ramsey would be playing in the nickel. So you could definitely find a way to make this work. Now, Darius, when they do go to just 2 cornerback sets in their base formations, Darius would probably come off the field. But because he's older, he's got less tread on the tires, and it's really only like 15 to 20% of your defensive snaps are in that kind of heavier formation, I think he'd be perfectly fine taking those plays off. So I actually think Darius Slay would love to add Jalen Ramsey because it makes the defense better. So that's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. Now, no matter what moves they make this offseason, the one that we know is going to be here come week 1 is Aaron Rodgers. After a long wait, Aaron Rodgers will be the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback this year. And if you guys want to get his officially licensed number 8 Steelers jersey from our friends at Fanatics today, you can go to chatsports.com/AR8. That is our special link. If you guys click that link and make a purchase, Fanatics sends us part of the proceeds here at Steelers Talk. So if you're already planning on getting an Aaron Rodgers Steelers jersey and you want to help out the channel while doing so, all you have to do is go to chatsports.com/AR8 and make a purchase. Got one from Electric Divergent here. Says, Zach Frazier make it to the Pro Bowl this year? I think so. I think that he's one of the top 5 centers in football. I think that he is going to be taking, an even better step this year. He's going to take his game to an even higher level than it was in his rookie season. And I think that he's going to be the solid rock in the middle of the Steelers offensive line for years to come. That's going to be the foundation of this group for the next decade. Then we got Pittsburgh Fan 412 here. Says, is Omar waiting on TJ's contract to see how it needs to be structured to fit a wide receiver 2 or tight end and cornerback, Amari Cooper, Jonnu Smith, and Jalen Ramsey, any or all of them? It's certainly possible, but listen, man, if you trade for Jalen Ramsey, you kind of know what you're getting into because it's a trade. The contract's already set up, and you're only adding about $6 million in additional cap for this season when you got 18.8. So the Steelers, in theory, can trade for Jalen Ramsey, sign another receiver in free agency, and then backload TJ Watt's contract, especially because when you sign in an extension, that extension doesn't kick in until next offseason, right? So it doesn't really affect this season's strategy in terms of the cap management, that sort of thing. It's kind of complex here, but the long story short here, I don't think adding Jalen Ramsey or Amari Cooper or any of these guys is necessarily going to affect the TJ Watt situation. The Steelers are going to probably pay him a big contract regardless. Then we got CJ Ross here, says you should take off Keenan Allen because he has said that he will not play for us. What he said was he doesn't love the idea of playing in Pittsburgh, all right? And that's different from saying he will never play for the Steelers. All right, he doesn't love the city of Pittsburgh because it's not a fun city. That's pretty much what he's saying. He's used to living in LA. He's used to living in Chicago, places where there's a lot of things to do, and they're kind of known for being fun cities, quote unquote. All right, and Pittsburgh's blue collar, all these different things, and it's probably just not his speed. But he also said in that same exact quote there, CJ, that Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback intrigues him. And he also said right after that, you never know. So I think that he has left the door open. I would rather get Amari Cooper personally. I think that he's a better fit for Aaron Rodgers' play style, more used to playing on the outside, which is what the Steelers would be asking him to do. But I don't think it's necessarily a 0% chance that Keenan Allen will play for the Steelers, all right? I don't think he would prefer to play in this city, but I don't think he's completely ruled it out. So make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. We're going to get to a couple more questions here in just a second. But if you click that thumbs up icon, it really does help out the channel, helps increase our reach here on YouTube, and it just takes a half second of your time. So the more people that click that thumbs up icon, the better this video will do. So if you want to help out the channel today, we greatly appreciate it. Got one from Christian Andujar. Says, hey, Jack, what if the O-line goes to shambles again during the season? fire our O-line coach? Who are some candidates to hire to be the next O-line coach? I mean, it kind of depends because, you don't know which O-line coaches are going to get fired in the NFL this year. I would love to get Munchak back in here, but, he seems to be not too interested in coming back. But, when it comes to the offensive line, what happens if it goes to shambles? The season's over in terms of your chances of winning a Super Bowl. Because if you can't block for the running backs, the run game isn't going to be very good. You need a really good run game for this team to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. And if you can't protect, a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers who's lost a bit of his mobility, the pass game isn't going to be as good. So the offensive line is really the biggest X factor for the Steelers' success this year. If you think the O-line's going to be successful, Steelers could have a really good season this year. If you think they're going to be bad again, the Steelers are going to have a very defined ceiling to their season once again this year. So the O-line is going to be absolutely critical this year. And if they don't do well, absolutely fire Pat Meyer. Then we got one from Walks, who says, do you think the ESPN reporter like Orlovsky watch enough film for their opinions on the Steelers to be valid, as it seems like their opinions are formed from a stat sheet, not watching film? So Orlovsky does watch film. I will say that. All right, he's not stupid. He doesn't not know football. He has watched the Steelers film quite a bit because he talked quite a bit about the Justin Fields, Russell Wilson dynamic last year. So he has watched quite a bit of Steelers film. He just has a different perspective than I do. He says he thinks the Steelers will win 10 games this year. He says he thinks they'll make the playoffs. It's just he feels like they're going to have that defined ceiling that we talked about, where he doesn't believe in the O-line. He doesn't think the weapons are good enough here. And, he might be right about that. It's still a big question mark whether guys like Calvin Austin III, Broderick Jones, Mason McCormick step up in the ways that they need to for this team to be successful. But as kind of an optimist and as a fan of this football team, I do believe in these younger players to take that next step. The Steelers believe in them as well. And if they do that, I think that Danny boy is going to be looking pretty stupid come January. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for stopping by for this week's mailbag. We do these mailbags every single week. We film them on Thursdays during our live shows at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you guys join us every single week so you can get a question on a future Steelers Talk mailbag. All right, we're about to get into our Madden simulation. What's up? I got a Venmo. I did. I will send this to you. And Coop, the Steelers in our Madden simulated season to this point are sitting at 4-3. They just beat the Green Bay Packers.
Indeed.
Aaron Rodgers got his revenge, and now we shift our focus to the Indianapolis Colts. Here in Week 9, it is rainy at Acrisure Stadium. We're going to get to that here in just a second. But CJ Ross with his $50th donated today. CJ, let us know in the chat if you want another hat for us to send it your way. We could sign a hat for you. Or if you want to donate a hat to somebody in the chat, let me know down there in the chat, CJ. But if not, we'll get another hat out to you. And, of course, that means another tortilla slap at the end of today's show. So appreciate the $50. Right now, what are we sitting at with so $50 PayPal. We have $56 on Super Chats. That's $106 plus $80 on Venmo.
So $186.
186. So what are we at? So like $70 more dollars? 65?
Let's call it 75.
75?
Yeah, roughly.
All right, so about $75 away from hitting the gong. Yeah. If somebody puts in a 100, I'll add 3 more slaps to the total, and we'll bang the gong. All right, if we can get a $100 super chat, we will make sure that happens.
All right.
But let's get into the Madden stream here. The 4-3 Steelers taking on. Wait, do you have? Oh my goodness, is Anthony Richardson playing or Daniel Jones?
This is all chug, so I have no idea.
Yeah, Coop wasn't here to do the stream, but we are underway at Acrisure. It's taken from the 5.
I hope it's Richardson, honestly.
And takes it. It is Richardson. So I guess his shoulder is just fine. He's okay.
He does have superhuman.
Which, by the way, it does sound like his shoulder issue will be better by training camp. So he could win this job. It's not completely crazy.
Are they going to do an actual QB battle?
I think so.
No way.
But here we go. Richardson and the Colts start at the Steelers 25. Takes the snap. Richardson looking. He will throw quickly. It is caught. Tyler Warren on the catch, and he will pick up 7. We got the alternate uniforms here. Look at these jerseys the Steelers are wearing. All black helmets with the Batman alternates. And then the Colts are wearing the throwbacks as well. It's kind of a sick jersey matchup.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all. Shotgun. It's going to be read option. There goes Richardson. He'll pick up a first down, but Minka is there. Fumble! Steelers to pick up the football! And he's going to take it all the way down to the 10-yard line! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Anthony Richardson fumbles the football, and here comes Raji, and this one's rolling in from DJ KJ. Bang! Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. DJ KJ with the 50. That's another slap. And he says, this is my last super chat until my next job while Steelers dad and I move. As always, Jack and Coop, we appreciate the live shows. Also, check your X for a new address. Hashtag Steelers Talk for life.
Beast.
DJ KJ, we will send you a Steelers Talk hat for that 50. Appreciate your support, my friend. And now we're back to the game. Raji and the Steelers take over at the Colts 10-yard line. Shotgun Rodgers. Got a bunch. Condensed formation out to the left. Takes the snap. Throws quickly. He's got blockers in front of him, but Muth gets taken down after a gain of 2. See, I'm kind of in favor, Coop, of an all-yellow helmet. Kind of simple, but like alternate uniform, throwback, but the all-yellow helmets.
I would like that too. Maybe that's what they'll do for their alternate.
Yeah, maybe. Shotgun, handoff to Jalen Warren. He's going to fight forward for a couple. Be 3rd down and 6. Can the Colts defense get off the field by only giving up a field goal after the Anthony Richardson fumble? Come on, Steelers. 3rd down, people. We gotta convert here. We gotta convert here. Let's go. Shotgun Rodgers. By the way, we're a $20 super chat away from banging the gong. Rodgers will throw back of the end zone. Drop. That should have been intercepted. Terrible decision by Rodgers throwing it up there, but it's dropped in the end zone, so the Steelers will get 3 points that maybe they shouldn't have gotten because of the poor decision from 8. But Boswell will take the field for the short field goal. This is a chip shot for Bos, but it is in the rain, so hopefully there's no slippage. The kick is up, and it is good. 3-0 Steelers to start this football game. We'll take the free 3 points there, Coop.
Little disappointing, though. You start in the red zone.
Sure.
Need to get in. The Steelers have had problems in the red zone.
Little disappointing, but that's okay. Just as long as they can win this game. If you lose this game, though, Coop, you're going to be looking back at that drive as a huge missed opportunity. Kick is away, fielded at the 5 by the Colts, and they will take it. Not a good return again, just to the 26-yard line. Steelers special teams doing a good job so far in this one.
If you lose this game, is it fire Mike Tomlin?
No, it's not. It's pistol for Richardson. We'll take the snap, play action. Here comes the pressure, and he's down. That is Captain Cam Hayward with a sack, and it'll be 2nd down and 19. Everybody spam 97 in the chat. Spam those 97s in the chat. Let's go. Cam Hayward, I think, was untouched there. And now it'll be 2nd down and long. Steelers defense came to play here in Week 9. Richardson takes the snap. He's looking. He throws. It is caught. Short gain by Michael Pittman Jr. for a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and very long. Let's go. Type those 3s in the chat. Type those 3s in the chat. We're $20 away from banging the gong. here on Steelers Talk. Let's go. Here we go now. Empty formation for Richardson. He's looking, stepping back. Now he throws on the run. Intercepted! Already the second turnover of the day. Who is that? Deshaun Elliott, the newly paid safety. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Anthony Richardson. The ball is a little wet. The ball is a little wet, Coop.
It's a little moist.
And already 2 turnovers, and the Steelers will get the ball in Colts territory again, this time at the 42. Rodgers under center will take a deep drop. Now he throws while he gets hit, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Rodgers not starting this game off too well either, Coop.
Is it time for Howie?
It's not time for Howie. Howie stinks.
How dare you? You don't believe that.
So here we go. Shotgun with a bunch out to the right. Rodgers looking. He's got a clean pocket. Now he's stepping back, rolling out. Is he going to run this? What are you doing? Throw it away, Raji. You're not 20 anymore, man. You're not a 23-year-old Raj.
He's not a young jit no more.
3rd and 11 coming up. Rodgers not playing too well in this one so far. I mean, they got to get some yardage here, or they're not going to pick up any. They're not going to pick up any points here. Shotgun trips right, takes a snap. Rodgers will throw down the field, and it's intercepted right to the defender. And there he goes.
What a joke.
Gets in the Steelers territory at the 46. This is the best field position the Colts have had. Charvarius Ward, the newly signed corner, formerly with the 49ers and Chiefs. Rodgers not playing too well. That should have been his 2nd interception today, too. There was one where he just threw it in the back of the end zone, and it was dropped. He tried to go to DK on that one, but the Colts will take over here. They haven't been able to do anything offensively, but the momentum shifts back to the Colts. And they got a chance to take the lead here. Kirk Crater with the $20 Venmo.
Shout out our guy, Kirk.
Pause the game, Coop, because we are now over $250 in donations. Bang! Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Appreciate you, Kirk. Crater gets us over there. Captain Kirk gets us over. And now it's a handoff to Jonathan Taylor. TJ Watt blows it up. 2nd down and 11 and a TFL for 90. By the way, Kirk says in his message, bang that gong. Madden still approves of the shut helmet for Aaron Rodgers. And they do. So here we go, 2nd down and 11. Steelers defense just carrying this entire team. Tell me if you've heard that before. Shotgun, Richardson throws quickly on the mesh, and he's blown up. Peyton Wilson with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up. Spam those threes if you want to get off the field. Spam those threes if you want to get off the field. Come on, baby. Shotgun for Richardson. Takes the snap. Now he's looking to scramble. Throws on the run. Intercepted again! Oh my goodness, and there he goes! And he gets all the way down to the 43-yard line, the 3rd turnover of the day.
Big play, Slay.
And it's big play, Slay with the interception.
Does Anthony Richardson stink?
Yes, he stinks. Richardson throws on the run right into the waiting arms of Darius Slay.
What did I tell you?
I mean, both interceptions was because Richardson was way late. Now here comes Rodgers strutting his stuff like he hasn't thrown 2 turnover-worthy throws already. Come on, Raji. It's time to pick up the pace. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will hand it off. Jalen Warren. And he gets brought down on an arm tackle after 5 yards. 3-0 the score as we're about to conclude the first quarter. 2nd down and 5 for the Steelers. Got to get something cooking offensively. I will say this, Coop, if they can get a touchdown here, go up 10 points in these 5-minute quarter Madden games, that's huge. Under center. It's going to be a 5-step drop for Rodgers. Throws quickly. Wide open, caught. That is Darnell Washington. Mount Washington catches it for a first down. Steelers sideline going crazy. And now they send Rodgers out there and empty on first down. From the Colts 43-yard line, Rodgers takes the snap. Nothing there initially. Now throws middle of the field. Almost intercepted again. Hospital ball. That time to Robert Woods. Got blown up. And now it'll be 2nd down and 10. Again, guys, $5 gets you 1 raffle ticket to win a Steelers Talk hat in today's hat raffle. $10 gets you 3. $20 gets you 10 raffle tickets. Shotgun Rodgers, you'll hand it off to Jalen Moore, and he's got a hole, and he's going to pick up 5. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter at Acrisure here in Week 9. 3-0 Steelers with the ball in Colts territory. 3rd down coming up here.
In the elements.
In the elements. It's like the Madden software is like, all right, it's rainy. Let's just have them make stupid decisions. Because both Rodgers and Richardson have made some bad decisions.
Didn't they make it even worse in Madden next year?
Yes, they're going to be slipping all over the place. Shotgun Rodgers. He's got plenty of time. Still looking. Now he's going to look to run, and nothing there. He gets sacked. 4th down and 6. The Steelers will probably punt, and another missed opportunity on a turnover created by the Steelers defense. They're sending out this. The game is showing them sending out Boswell. Are they really going to try this kick? It's going to be a really long kick. Oh my goodness. Going to attempt a 55-yarder here. Boswell puts it up in the elements. And it's good! The great and powerful Boz! 6-0 Steelers, but they're still within a touchdown margin. The Colts can take the lead on just one drive because the Steelers offense have not done a good enough job moving the football so far in this one.
Now watch this drive.
Still got 280 people watching live. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. The kick is away, and it's another bad return by the Colts, only getting to the 25. And here comes Anthony Richardson. Already 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble in this first half. We're approaching Nathan Peterman levels here. Can he get to the famed 5 turnover number in the first half? It's going to be a handoff here. Good call, Indy. Good call. Got to run the football. Jonathan Taylor gets 3, not much. Steelers defense came to play today.
Hey, if they can't pass the rock, they might as well lean into the run.
Well, I don't disagree, man. It's good strategy by them. If your quarterback can't keep the ball away from the other team, you might as well want to run it. 2 receivers set for Indy. Going to take the snap. Richardson, pressure getting to him, throws. Oh, nice throw by Richardson. It's caught, but for a short gain. Might be the most impressive play for the Colts offense thus far. 3rd down and 2. If you want to get off the field, spam those 3s. Spam those 3s in the chat. Come on. Pistol formation. Takes the snap. Read option. And he gets blown. Oh, somehow he stays on his feet. He picks up a first down. Minka Fitzpatrick had Richardson in his grasp. And just look at those legs. Look at how big Richardson's legs are in this game, bro.
Tree trunks?
Just
does Saquon Barkley have as big legs?
No, I don't think so. So first down for Indy. Takes the snap. Richardson looking, throws quickly to his tight end, to Alec Pierce. Caught for 8 yards. Now Jack Sawyer, the rookie out of Ohio State, goes down with an injury. And it looks like Brock Purdy. Second down and 2. This would be a good time for a sack here. This would be a good time for a sack.
When's TJ going to show up?
Well, he got a TFL earlier. Offset pistol formation. Richardson takes the snap. He hands it off, and there's a TFL. That's what we needed. Captain Cam Hayward coming in with the TFL. Everybody spam those 97s in the chat. It's 3rd down and 4. Spam 3 or 97, whatever you want. You add them up, you get 100. Come on. Shotgun for Richardson. Bunch formation to the left. He's looking. He throws middle wide open. Caught. There goes Alec Pierce. 1st down Colts. Biggest play of the game for either offense. As the Colts get down to the 29-yard line and into field goal range. This is by far the best drive that Richardson has had so far this game. Saved the drive with a shed tackle on Minkah Fitzpatrick on 3rd down on the read option. And then on another 3rd down, ripping that dig to Alec Pierce for a big gain. And now they are in Steelers territory. Shotgun here for Richardson. Steelers load in the box. They're going to hand it off to Jonathan Taylor. He's got room. There he goes to the 20, the 10, and finally brought down by Minkah at the 8-yard line. Colts driving. I mean, after all this, if the opposing team has 3 turnovers in the first half and you go into halftime losing, I mean,
what a joke.
I can't explain it. This is a joke. 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Steelers up by 6, but Colts knocking on the door of taking the lead here. They'll have a bunch. Out to the right here. Shotgun Richardson. He's got time to throw. He throws close to the end zone. It is caught down at the 1-yard line. That is Tyler Warren, the rookie out of Penn State. Why does he have long hair like that? I know he's got longer hair, but it's not like Clay Matthews. So Colts are 1 yard away from taking the lead in this game that the Steelers defense has dominated.
That's them.
False start? This better be false start. False start on the Colts. It's going to bring them back a bit. They're pissed at each other. They're yelling at each other right now. Backs him up to the 6-yard line. They go empty with Richardson. He takes the snap. Now he's looking to run. Is anyone going to catch him? Nope. Touchdown, Anthony Richardson. The Colts are an extra point away from taking the lead.
3 turnovers.
It's unbelievable, man. Had the ball in great field position 3 separate times. You only come away with 6 points. And then you give up a touchdown close to the end of the half. I mean, this is about as disheartening of a start to a game as you can have for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a huge jolt of momentum has just been injected into the Colts sideline. As now they're an extra point away from taking the lead with just 1:18 to go. Everyone type boo in the chat. Boo!
Do you think the crowd's booing him off at halftime?
I mean, maybe. I mean, what are we doing here? Daniel Jones with the beautiful hold there to make it 7-6.
Dan the doo-doo man.
Dan the doo-doo man.
Who's better, Dan the doo-doo man or Richardson?
Richardson.
Do you think so?
Yeah. It's caught at the 5. Steelers will take it to the 27 with 1:14 to go. They still have all 3 of their timeouts. Certainly not impossible. I mean, if you guys will remember, if you were here to watch the Packer game on Monday, Rodgers and DK were just bombing it down the field versus Green Bay. See if they do something similar here. Pistol formation, Rodgers. He's going to throw quickly to Calvin Austin. It is caught, brought down inbounds, 2nd down and 4. I'm sorry, man. With like just over a minute to go, we can't just be taking 6-yard gains. We got to be trying to get more than that. 2nd down and 4. From shotgun, Rodgers. 50 seconds to go and counting. He's going to throw a quick check down again. It's Jalen Warren who picks up 1 yard. 3rd down and 3. He gets out of bounds. Clock stops with 44 seconds to go. I mean, come on, man. Third down and 3. They go empty with Rodgers here. Takes the snap. Aaron. He's going to throw middle, overthrows it incomplete. God, man, this offense has just been a joke so far this game. DK wants a penalty. He's not going to get it. I think Rodgers overthrew it, and they got a punt. By the way, Colts have all their timeouts. It's not impossible that they have one big play and they go up 10-6. Now, the silver lining here is the Steelers do get the ball at half. Cameron Johnston punts it away. It'll be fair caught at the 25.
Are we sure that was caught?
Yeah.
He caught it and dropped it very quickly.
That is true, but fair catch. So if he secured it for any amount of time, that's a fair catch. I don't know
if he did, Jim.
Richardson from shotgun takes the snap. Here comes pressure. He throws it quickly on the drag. It is caught. He'll be brought down inbounds. Clock ticking. No timeout taken by Indianapolis. It'll be 2nd down and 2. It seems like Indy's going to be happy with the 1-point lead heading into half. I mean, just what a shitty first half for the Steelers offense, man. Defense giving you every opportunity. 2nd down and 2. Clock runs out here in the first half. He's going to throw it downfield. Intercepted by the Steelers. Get up, get up. No, he can't get up.
4 3 picks and a fumble.
4 turnovers by Anthony Richardson in the first half, and the Steelers are losing. I can't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. The Colts have had 4 turnovers in that first half, and the Steelers only have 6 points. And they gave up a touchdown on the one drive. They didn't turn it over. Well, here we go in the second half. Let's hope that the Steelers offense figured something out here. It's fielded at the 5. And it's going to be taken to the 28-yard line. Not a terrible return, but not back to the 30. And now here comes Rodgers again, who has been terrible to start this game. I mean, I don't know if I can even think of one impressive throw he made in that first half. Under center here. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. It's a quick drop. He throws quickly, almost picked again, incomplete. Hospital ball again. I mean, I don't know who does these Madden overalls, but they have Aaron Rodgers playing like an idiot out there. He's not an idiot.
Well,
depending on some of the things, he's not a football idiot. Was what we'll say. Shotgun here. Rodgers throws quickly. Caught. Nice throw by Rodgers. It is caught by Jalen Warren. Kind of tight coverage, but we saw the classic wrist flick there from Raji. First down Steelers, the best play offensively in the game so far. All right, maybe Rodgers gets on a little bit of a roll here. Trips right. Rodgers from shotgun will hand it off to Warren, and he will get a decent gain of 5 yards on the first down carry. Let's put something together here. Let's take the lead. The defense is doing well. I don't know if the Colts have another scoring drive in them. The way Richardson's playing, throwing interceptions, another field goal might get it done. But we want a touchdown, man. Shot or under center play action. Rodgers got all day. Shifts in the pocket. Now he's going to look to run. Rodgers, you can't run the football, dog. Picks up another 2 yards, but, I mean, this version of Aaron Rodgers thinks that he's 23 years old. Just running all over the place. 3rd down and 3. Trips left, takes the snap. Rodgers plenty of time again. And now he will bomb it down the field. Open receiver caught. Touchdown Steelers.
He underthrew him.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. There we go. Look at him wind up.
Load.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, and he underthrew him.
Well, Calvin is just so fast. He burned the defense. And Calvin Austin III with the 50-plus yard touchdown to give the Steelers the lead. Everybody spam TD in the chat. If anybody's wondering what the Steelers' record is so far this season, it's 4-3. Here we go. They're going to go for 2, try to go up by a touchdown. They go up and empty. Raji, nothing there initially. He's going to roll out. Is he going to pick it up? No, he gets tackled at the 1. Why does this version of Aaron Rodgers think that he's Lamar Jackson? Why does he keep running? I don't get it. I mean, look at him. So slow.
How does he not get there?
Well, it's because he's got like 0 play strength versus a defensive player. So he just stonewalls him.
He should have hurdled.
I would have lost my shit if simulated Madden Aaron Rodgers hurdle a man.
So after all that, the Steelers have 12 points.
The Steelers have 12 points. Kick is a White's fielded at the 5. And the return man for Indianapolis will take it to the 26. Here comes Anthony Richardson and the Colts. 4 turnovers for Anthony Richardson so far today. That is Nathan Peterman level bad.
Peterman did have 5.
I know, but this is 5-minute quarters.
True.
This is a full game. He might have broken Nathan Peterman's record.
He would have been pulled.
But Shane Steichen sticking with his quarterback here. Shotgun Richardson. He will hand it off to Jonathan Taylor. He won't get much. A gain of 3. Y.A. Black on the tackle. I mean, what a throw from Rodgers. I mean, it seems like the only accurate throws Rodgers throws in this game are deep bombs. Pistols, or the pistol formation, handed off to Taylor again. He's on top of a bunch of guys. Pause. And he gets just a couple of yards. 3rd down and 5 coming up.
He does love the deep bomb to DeCussy and to Calvi.
What is Calvin's?
It's Calvi.
Is it Calvi?
Oh, yeah.
DeCussy. Shotgun here. Richardson play action. He's got plenty of time. He's going to throw middle, wide open, caught. There goes Pittman. He toasts Joey Porter Jr., gets down to the 40-yard line. 1st down, Colts. For the people that are trashing the jerseys in the chat, I didn't pick them, man.
Blame intern Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy Chugs picked the jerseys because he ran the stream. So he picked the Batman jerseys.
I think they look pretty good.
I honestly don't think they're that bad.
It looks like Hines Ward in Batman 2.
There's other worse jerseys that they could have chosen.
It looks like the Dark Knight Rises jerseys.
Yeah, kind of. Handoff here. Jonathan Taylor going to break a couple tackles. He's still running. Tackle! Gets 7 yards. Joe says he doesn't like the jerseys. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sorry, Joe.
Fortunately, it's too late to change them. 2nd down and 3 from the Steelers' 33. Colts definitely in field goal range. Richardson will take the snap. Read option, and there he goes. Nobody is out there. Nobody accounted for Richardson, who picks up a good gain, gets down to the 20. They're inside the red zone. And if anything, Coop, that's why you start Anthony Richardson. He might throw 4 interceptions or 3 interceptions and a fumble, but he's still more effective just because of what he can do with his legs than what Daniel Jones can give you.
Absolutely.
Shotgun Richardson, condensed bunch out to the left, takes the snap. Here comes TJ Watt. He's running out of time. Now he has to throw it. Caught somehow, but no gain. Or maybe they just called incomplete. Patrick Queen on the coverage. Be 2nd down and 10. Robert says, I think the jerseys are cool. I think there's worse jerseys he could have picked.
Oh, yeah.
At least they look like Steelers jerseys, is what I'll say.
There are worse.
Under center play action. Richardson has all day back there. He throws, caught to his check down, Jonathan Taylor. Good tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. Third down and 3. Type those 3s if you want to get off the field. Can't let him into the end zone. Can't let him into the end zone. Offset pistol formation. Be taken, snap by Richardson, handed off, and it's blown up. Patrick Queen with the tackle. 4th down and 3. They're going to have to kick a field goal, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Steelers. So now Indianapolis will have to kick a field goal. Good defense by the Steelers. They've been on fire today. 4 turnovers. Now the Colts will try to get up to 10 points. It is up, and it is good.
Good hold.
Good hold, Danny. Steelers up 12-10. And what I'll say here, Coop, is that we're getting close to the 4th quarter. If they can get a touchdown here and go up 2 scores, it's going to be tough for especially this Colts offense, which has struggled for most of the day, to score twice in a row.
Oh, yeah.
What would need to be happening if the Steelers score a touchdown again? It's caught at the 5. Tries a spin move, completely unsuccessful, gets to the 26.
What are your thoughts on the kickoff rule?
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Shotgun, Rodgers throws, quick slant, caught Bobby Trees for a gain of 8. There we go, Raji. Get Raji working in rhythm here. Get Raji working in rhythm here. That's going to end the 3rd quarter, guys. Spam those 4s in the chat. Get those 4s in the chat.
Uno mas.
One more quarter here. Steelers, by the way, are 4-3 in our simulated season this year. They are 1-1 with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback because Rodgers wasn't on the team when we started this simulated season. Trying to get their 2nd win in a row. Under center, Rodgers. You will hand it off to Jalen Warren, and it gets blown up. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 2 coming up. Dante Edwards says, can y'all pray for my uncle? He died yesterday morning. He had cancer. Dante, sorry for your loss, my friend. It's why this community exists, man, to help support people and give people something fun to do during the week, even with all the daily stuff that people have to go through. Dante, your family is in our thoughts and prayers, my friend. By the way, hand off to Jalen Warren. 1st down Steelers. Big pickup on 3rd down there for the Steelers offense. They go empty here on 1st down. They're going to put the ball in Raji's hands. He's looking. He's got plenty of time. He throws outside. Caught 1st down yet again. Bobby Trees getting hot here on this drive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's good stuff right there. And now they are in Colts territory. A field goal forces the Colts to score a touchdown to take the lead, but a touchdown and an extra point made will make this a 2-possession game here in the 4th quarter, all but ending the Colts' hopes of winning. 3 receivers set, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 1 tight end, 1 back. Rodgers from shotgun takes the snap, stepping back, still looking. Now he's going to look to escape. He's got some room to run. He's going to go. He's going to slide down. He gets hit after he slides. It should be a penalty, but it's Madden. 2nd down and 4.
No call?
Fool. These refs have a little shrimp cocktails at St. Elmo before getting on the bus.
They went to St. Elmo's. They got on the plane with the Colts.
I formation with Mount Washington in at tight end. Play action. Rodgers is all day back there. He's going to throw down this field. It's caught. 1st and goal. Pat Freiermuth with the catch. Move. You got to love it. Look at this throw from Raji, just a little rotation. And he's got the and look at that, contested catch. Muth dropped it like immediately when he got out of bounds, so I thought he dropped it for a second. But 1st down and goal here for the Steelers at the 5.
You can put it away.
Can put it away if you put it in the end zone. They're going to send Austin in motion. Hand off. He's got some room. Is he in? No, he gets stonewalled at the 1.
Is that good? Wasting time.
The clock will continue to run. We are approaching 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. If the Steelers can score a touchdown here, that'll all but end this game. And the Steelers will go to 5-3. Under center. Multiple tight end set. Just 2 receivers with 2 tight ends and a back. They're going to hand it off to Warren. He's in! Touchdown Steelers! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Steelers, pending an extra point from Chris Boswell, will go up 9 points. Shane Steichen is pushing players on the field. Player abuse. He's going to get fined for that.
He might get fired for this performance.
Yeah, might get fired. Kick is up, and it is good. It's 19-10. Steelers up 2 scores with time running out in the fourth. Barring some sort of miracle for Indianapolis, the Steelers will win this game, improve to 5-3 on the season, and get halfway to double-digit wins on the year.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So good.
Let's go, Steelers. Kick is away by Boz. It'll be fielded at around the 7-yard line. It's going to be taken to the 28. And here comes Anthony Richardson, who has 4 turnovers today. Has a touchdown run. But it has not been a great day for number 5. Might be benched after this game for Daniel Jones. First down and 10 for the Colts. They're going to have to start bombing it down the field. I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers defense ends the game with 5 turnovers. He's going to throw it wide open. How does he get that wide open? Michael Pittman Jr., huge gain, gets them to the 50 as the clock will continue to tick.
Dang, 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 dang.
What the fuck was that? What is Coop doing, ladies and gentlemen? Shotgun. Richardson takes the snap. Steelers send 4. He's going to throw. Good throw by Richardson. First down to Alec Pierce. One of the best throws of the day by Richardson right there. Nice little pocket reset. Throwing it on time.
Anticipation?
Yeah, not much anticipation, but that's okay. Clock stops. Steelers defense needs to wake up a little bit here, folks. 2 completed passes for Richardson here. Takes the snap. He's going to throw again. It is caught, but this time, no, dropped. Probably a good drop by Jonathan Taylor there. Stops the clock instead of keeps it going. Second down and 10. I don't even know what Richardson's doing, trying to nickel and dime his way down the field here with this much time left in the game. Shotgun here for Richardson. Takes the snap. He's going to look. He's throwing. He's caught it. Jonathan Taylor, his check down, gets 7 yards. 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Steelers up 2 scores here. They've got the game by the balls. They just got to not let go. Richardson from shotgun will take the snap. Steelers send 4. He will throw short on the drag to Jonathan Taylor, who will pick up a first down, but inbounds. Clock will continue to tick. Indy can't use timeouts. What Indy is hoping for is that they can score relatively quickly here, stop the Steelers' running attack, and prevent them from getting a first down, and then get the ball back with no timeouts and hopefully get another field goal. Richardson looking. No, he's going to escape out to his right. He tries throwing on the run. He throws it out of bounds. Incomplete. Good job by Richardson getting rid of it. Looked like Nate Herbig, or Nick Herbig, not Nate Herbig. Nick Herbig was getting after him. Had my Herbigs mixed up there, Coop.
One's a little bigger.
A lot bigger.
Where's he at now?
Washington. Yeah. Shotgun here. 4 receivers set for Indy. They're going to throw a quick screen, and in Anthony Richardson fashion, just biffs it.
He what?
He biffs it.
Is that a word?
It's a word we use in Minnesota.
Unreal.
Third down and 10. This is the interception play, I'm calling it. For some reason, TJ Watt is an inside linebacker on this play. Richardson just dumps it off to Jonathan Taylor. Oh, he falls forward, first down. Timeout, Indy. Well, why are you calling timeout, Indy? That's the stupidest decision I've ever seen.
Well, look at who their coach is.
I mean, Shane Steichen. I mean, you need all 3 of those timeouts, dog. Like, what are we doing? There's no 2-minute warning left. That's Madden for you, folks. That's Madden. Shotgun Richardson throws in the flat, caught, touchdown, Colts. It's going to be a little too late for Indy, though, I think, unless the Steelers make a massive mistake. Josh Downs, his first catch of the day, is a touchdown, and I mean, they're trying to dance on the Steelers. The game is over. Y'all lost. Why are we dancing? It's a moral victory. And now Mike Tomlin shoves TJ Watts. Looks like both coaches might get fines for touching players in this game. Pause. Kick is up, and it is good. 19-17 is the score. I would expect an onside kick to come up here. And if the Steelers just do their job and recover the kick, they will win this game.
Do your job.
Do your job. Setting up for the onside kick. See if the Steelers can recover. Kick is away. And it is picked up by the Steelers. Mount Washington, it looked like, picked it up. And now the Colts can stop the clock twice, so they can still get the football. Theoretically, but if they get the football, it's going to be deep in their own territory with no timeouts and not a lot of time left in the game. So first down ends the game for sure. I would expect running here from Pittsburgh, starting at the 42-yard line. They will hand it off to Jalen Warren, who will get nothing, a gain of 1. By the way, this is kind of last call here. $5 to get into the hat raffle. We're going to be giving away one of these Steelers Talk hats at the end of today's show. $5 gets you into the raffle. $10 gets you 3 raffle tickets. $20 gets you 10. And if you guys want a free raffle entry, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter at Jack_Sperry. 3 receiver set here for Pittsburgh. You're going to send Calvin Austin in motion. They're going to hand it to him. He's got some blockers. First down, Steelers, and that's the game.
The Canada special.
The Matt Canada special puts away the Colts in Week 9, and the Steelers will improve to 5-3 on the season. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. So the clock will tick down, but when the clock gets all the way down to 0, the Steelers will be at 5-3 in our Madden simulated season.
They're not yet.
One more play, and they will get there. As Rodgers in victory formation will snap it with 2 seconds left to go, knee it down, and take the Steelers to 5-3 on the season. And I will say right now, man, you had to play, the first 5 games of your season without Aaron Rodgers in this Madden simulated season. You ended up going 3-2 in those games. And now you're sitting at 5-3 with Rodgers starting to heat up a little bit here. Liking the Steelers' chances in our Madden simulated season here, Coop. I'm liking it. Final score, 19-17. Steelers win. Stryker coming in with a $10 super chat. Gets him another 3 raffle tickets
Stryker
to win a Steelers Talk hat.
Let me make sure I have all the tickets in, but I think I do.
Coop's going to double check the raffle ticket wheel, and then we will spin the wheel. Can you slack Coley?
Yeah, 1 moment.
Then Captain Coley will come on to slap me in the face with a tortilla 3 times. 3 times.
Are we putting DJ in the raffle, or you're just giving him a hat?
DJ.
KJ.
Oh, well, he had a 50.
Correct.
So I'm just going to give him a hat.
Okay.
All right, so Coop's going to get the names in there, and then we'll spin the wheel. I'll get slapped, and we'll finish up today's show. A lot of content today, man. 4 cuts that we got done today. A Madden sim. Going to be giving away a hat here. Oh, so CJ Ross said in his CJ Ross already has a Steelers Talk hat. So what he's saying is do a second spin for the hat. So we're spinning the wheel twice.
Okay.
So CJ Ross sent that in his Venmo. So we'll be giving away 2 hats today in the raffle.
Should I take him out of the raffle?
Yes, because he already has one. So have some people to add to the raffle via Twitter as well, Coop.
You just want to put their names down below.
Sure. All right. So if you followed me on Twitter, you also have a raffle entry. So that would be... So thank you to John Perry, Javon Bashara, and Cole Shulo. I hope I'm saying that right, Cole, for following me on Twitter today. You guys are in the raffle.
We don't have Captain Coley coming, but we do have someone coming.
Steeler Smitty.
Nope.
Jack Lotteray.
Nope.
All right, I guess it's a surprise who's coming in with the tortilla. No, Jeremy? Not Jeremy.
Nope.
Not Jeremy. Jeremy slaps too hard. But we will get into this raffle here momentarily. Oh, and then we got another one. NC Striker just followed me. I'm shutting down the. This is the last one, by the way, that we're adding to the raffle. So NC Striker, you are in the raffle. Chase Senior just showed his ass in our new studio window. You're cleaning that up, dude.
You leave marks on there?
Gotta get your dingleberries off my glass, dude. All right, so we got Eagles and 49ers host Chase Senior here. He's one of the only people in this office, by the way, that doesn't look too short when he stands next to me in the full screen. He's on his tippy toes right now. Oh no, you're not. You're just wearing the Hokas, which elevates you a little bit. But you got the Kanzuris.
Disrespect my height.
The Hokas are very comfortable.
This one's for the birds.
For the birds.
All right. Oh my goodness.
How many? How many, Sperry?
Three.
Three
of them.
slaps?
3.
Stop it.
That's what he wants, dude. Oh my.
That hurt.
That fucking hurt. Look at this. He snapped it in half. Do you need to go get another one?
No.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Go Birds!
He got me like right here, like in the temple. Go Birds, I guess. One more. I don't know if you guys could hear that.
Oh, they could hear it.
Oh.
Here we go.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. All right, big shout out to Chase Senior helping us out today. All right, folks.
I like where this TV is.
Yeah,
not bad.
it's good placement.
Hey, clean those skids up, dude.
Yeah, okay. All right, my face fucking hurts, so we're going to end this show here. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up.
Raffle.
Oh, yeah, raffle. How could I forget? How could I forget? All right, we got the raffle. 2 spins. We're giving away 2 hats.
Oh, my goodness. Your face.
I know, my face. Look at this. Look at
I
this.
see it.
Dude, it's so red.
All right.
You get what you pay for, man. You spend $50 for a tortilla slap. I'm getting slapped. All right, man.
Twice, right?
Spinning it twice. Let's see who comes away with the win. Put my email down in the L3 while you got a chance. Is Justin going to win another one or Striker? Striker!
Let's
go! With the win! All right, Striker.
I'm putting the email.
He's putting the email in there now. You're getting one of these Steelers Talk hats. So send me an email with your shipping address. We'll make sure to get you a Steelers Talk hat. And then the second one here, how funny would it be if a striker wins again? And it's Pittsburgh Fan 412 with the win. Congratulations to you both. I believe I have Pittsburgh fans' information, but if not, Pittsburgh fan, feel free to send me an email as well. Congratulations to Striker and Pittsburgh Fan 412.
Do you need to go ice your face?
Yes, I need to go ice my face. It's pretty tender right now. So appreciate you guys' support. We hit the gong today, over $250 in donations. That's our goal. So thank you guys so much.
Striker, you see the email on the bottom of the screen right now.
Yes, Striker on the bottom bar right here. All right, so that's where you send the email. Appreciate your support, guys. We will see you guys next Monday for our next live show. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, our normal time. We'll see you guys later. Until then, guys, here we go, Steelers.